mattress ain't big enough for two. But you asked me, I told you, don't kill me for telling the truth. I would rather sleep alone than never get to sleep at all. I hope you don't mind. Melatonin seeps into my brain. Regret flows through my veins. Every moment I am awake. Frequently pacing, walking on eggshells. Rephrase my answers, avoid the parallels. Eerie comparisons, flirting with danger. Acts like a lover, feel like a stranger. It's not me, it's not you, I've just got shit to do. You asked me, I told you, don't guilt me for telling the truth. But if I'm fucking honest, my twin size mattress ain't big enough for two. But you asked me, I told you, don't guilt me for telling the truth. I would rather sleep alone than never get to sleep at all. I hope you don't mind. Melatonin seeps into my brain. Regret flows through my veins. Every moment I am awake. It's on you, I've just got shit to do. But you asked me, I told you, don't kill me for telling the truth. But if I'm fucking honest, my twin size mattress ain't big enough for two. But you asked me, I told you, don't kill me for telling the truth.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Thirsty Thursday podcast.
Hey,
Gentlemen,
hey,
how we
hey.
doing?
Doing pretty good.
You guys stocked
Well-
up on your toilet paper and whatnot?
Oh yeah.
Well, you know I am.
Been taking your vitamin C?
I've been washing my hands like I do every other day. So I
Yeah,
think
no,
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
So me and my kid were talking, and she was like, "What's coronavirus?" I was like, "You know what? That's a good question." So we went to Google. It was like runny nose, cough, shit like that. I'm like, "Fuck, I got allergies like every day." That's like, wouldn't know if I fucking had it or not. I was like, "Just wash your fucking hands. Don't let nobody sneeze on you. Carry on."
I was
Yeah.
seeing something like it was talking about how like 80% of people that have it don't even know that they have it.
Yeah. Well,
You know, allergy season right now, and
it's pretty vague. Yeah. Everybody. I mean, it's like
but it puts them
Part
at
of the
risk
flu-
to pass it on. But
part of like flu symptoms and shit like that, or cold symptoms, really, is what it sounds like. So you wouldn't
Yeah.
fucking know. I don't go to the doctor for shit. I wouldn't know.
I don't
like,
want to get into any conspiracy theory or anything like that. You know, that's not what we do here. But that particular virus has been on the back of a Lysol can since like the 60s.
Yeah.
So
buy some Lysol, wash your hands.
I just question a lot of what they're saying.
Don't be shaking people's hands and stuff like that, and just
Yeah. Just
Oh.
eat good, get sleep.
And by the way, I just read that that case in Cali County was confirmed that it wasn't.
oh, good.
It wasn't.
Well, there was
actually-
two of them now.
Oh, really?
There's one in Arc City, and then there's one in Winfield that just got sent off today. So
Well, I saw that they said that it's beyond containment at this point. So, chances are it's going to sweep through here at some point.
oh
And
my
just
gosh, dude.
Well,
just
it doesn't matter. It
the
doesn't
thing
matter
that-
because I don't fucking do anything anyway. And when I do go out, I drink enough alcohol to kill whatever's inside me. So I think I'm good.
including yourself slowly.
Yeah. Right. Burning
Did
off my
you,
liver drink by drink.
Did you guys see the thing? I think it was Aaron Underwood shared it, like in a doctor's office, about like all these viruses come around during elections.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I did see that. It's just fear mongering, really. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
I mean, eating
I'm
sugar
sure
and
that
being,
I'm sure that it's a serious illness. It's
I bet it
just
sucks, but
yeah.
I think there's a shitload more people that die from stuffing their face with sugar and being pieces of shit, you know, not treating their body like they should every year than this virus will ever even come close to killing. So
Yeah, it's true.
literally,
Exactly.
wash your hands, get plenty of sleep every night, fucking get plenty of vitamins and minerals, and
Yes.
just
Don't lick any doorknobs and
yeah.
pretty much carry on like your normal routine.
I mean, yeah, it should be pretty common sense. They teach us from grade school, or maybe even kindergarten, like, hey, wash your hands, you know, and
Slip in a little cup of bone broth here and there. Yeah, like you said, vitamins, and just keep your immune system up. I think you'd be fine.
yeah, get some exercise and some fresh air, and I think if you happen to get sick, well, you know,
It's
might,
probably not coronavirus.
and if it is, well, you'll probably be all right unless you're like 80 or have pre-existing conditions, or you know.
Yep.
So
Good old whiskey, water, and honey.
Right. You talked about getting sleep. How are you guys adjusting to daylight savings?
I did fine, I think. You know, I ate some melatonin gummies, and that's why I happened to choose the song to kick off the show. You know, I ate some melatonin gummies last night pretty early and conked myself out and woke up. It was a little dark, but I was all right.
I'm not a fan. I could do without
You and me
the time
both, man.
change.
Yeah, I kind of struggle with it. I just so that I was doing some research on it, and they say that I think you're 34% more likely to have a stroke the day after daylight savings.
Wonder what's the
Significant
correlation.
increases in heart attack, stroke, and fatigue, and decreased productivity, which I can attest to. I was not very productive today.
I kicked some ass today. I don't know. Maybe it's because I got sleep, you know. Melatonin gummies, man.
Yeah, you know what? I should have done that.
Right.
And shout out to Old News, the song that played at the start of the episode. Yeah, those guys will kick ass. But anyway, it increases in headache occurrences and rise in depression, and even an increase in traffic accidents.
I could see that. Up here, like people were driving like idiots this morning.
Well,
it was raining. It was raining too. Like
that probably goes like hand in hand with the sleepy and the just being kind of out of it and dark. Yeah.
I guess it depends what time you go to work. You know, like if it's pretty early, like 5, 6 in the morning, that probably really blows. But like 8, it's like I'm always up at 7 o'clock anyways. You know, so it's really no different.
Well, they say in this article I was reading, they say that the day after you're losing about on average 20 minutes of sleep, despite what is commonly believed. The scientists claim this change is due to the body's circadian rhythm and is not one that can simply be accommodated in a day or two.
Yeah, you can see it's kind of like jet lag, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you go over to Cali or go to the East Coast or something like that, like it's pretty weird. Like I remember last night just kind of watching TV and I was like, man, it's fucking late. You know?
Yeah.
Like, huh.
Yeah, I know. That was like all day with me, man. We just like doing shit around the house, and it just seemed like time was moving so much fucking faster. Every time I looked at my clock, it seemed like I was 3 hours. It went 3 hours, you know. It's like, Jesus, it's already 3:30 in the afternoon. Seems like I just woke up.
So there are certain states, and I know Arizona is one of them, that doesn't abide by that. They just keep it regular time throughout the whole year.
Yeah, Hawaii's one of them.
Well, I think Alaska
Right.
is too.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting though. I mean, it's kind of weird, I've done some work on some computers in Arizona, and it's kind of strange to set their computer clocks,
Uh-huh.
definitely different.
So do they have that's an interesting question. Do they have their own time zone?
No, because they basically fall in line with West Coast or Mountain Time, depending on what season it is,
Mm-hmm.
rather than switch, back and forth.
Oh,
between
gotcha.
They
Yeah.
just they're either all of a sudden in
So from
Pacific time or
yeah.
yep. So it's kind of the same time every day that just gets dark at that point, or it's lighter. It's the same time. So really, they're kind of still kind of doing daylight savings, but not.
Well, their climate is so
Dry as fuck.
warm and dry that I mean it doesn't make sense for them. I mean, I think it was a whole to increase productivity.
I think it was more around for farmers and shit,
Right, exactly.
so they could get up and do their chores before school and
It's
whatnot.
kind of irrelevant now.
Yeah, there's been a lot of states that
technology.
want to like get rid of it, and
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really care either way. It's not like I'm getting up and feeding the pigs and off to school. I'm not doing that. So
Yep.
I don't know. What do you think? You think it should be out like just
I'm not a
done
big
with,
fan
or-
of it. I think it's pointless.
you don't like when you get to stay at the bar for an extra hour?
Well, I do like the other one. That being said, that's a great point. I do like the other one
I
because
love fall.
I get to sleep in an extra hour,
Mhm.
But I think that I would trade not having that for not having this one that we just experienced.
Right. Yeah. Who needs an extra hour at the bar when it's already 2 a.m. technically, or
Right.
Yeah.
that-
And if they did it maybe on like
not
on
a
a
Sunday.
Friday,
Yeah.
Friday night, maybe you could adjust to it in a couple of days. But like the article said, it's not simply something that you can just adjust to in 2 days. It's messing up your whole sleep pattern, your circadian rhythm.
Yeah, it's gonna be probably Wednesday before I'm
Right.
getting a little used to it, probably. But I know the days are just gonna keep getting longer and longer, which I like.
I do like that.
And get more done after work and go outside and do that type of shit. I'm gonna enjoy that.
See, I'm yawning right now, man.
Yeah.
Got me all fucked up.
Yeah, just talking about it.
Oh God.
So that Melatonin Gummies song was off their last EP. It's called Hands Like Glaciers. Once again, just want to thank Old News for kicking off our show. Go check them out if you ever see them on a bill. They're a tremendous band. And Tim said they've been kind of touring around a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen them kind of doing some stuff out of the state, and
It's good. I was like seeing that, man. I like seeing all these musicians kind of getting out and about. So
Yeah,
and,
it's
I think a lot more now. You're also starting to see these like more bands coming in from out of state too. They're starting to hit here. Not huge bands, like ones that are kind of cutting their teeth. And
yeah, we did get some correspondence from a band from Tennessee that's going to be coming through.
mhm.
We're going to have them on the podcast here, I think the 1st of next month, I'm thinking.
yeah,
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to get their take on, what their opinion of the Wichita scene is versus wherever, they're from. I think I can't remember where in Tennessee, but
I want to say Nashville, to be honest with you.
what was it, Nashville?
I think.
Okay. Yeah. So, that'll be really interesting to talk to them. And I'm just so glad that they reached out to us. That's really cool that we get to do stuff like that and talk about the Wichita band scene with, somebody with a different perspective.
Well, it's neat that they even found us. You know,
Yeah.
like we're
Yeah,
on their
that's what
radar.
I'm very curious to see like a touring band like that. What they're and not from Wichita, so what their perspective is on what brings them to Wichita and where we stand, where we kind of rank among other cities as far as the music scene.
Yeah. So look forward to that first part of April, or April. I think that their show is on April 14th, I'm thinking.
So speaking of the scene, you guys made it out and about Friday night.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Went
did
seen
get to
last week's guest.
Yeah.
Whitney
Oh,
Mears.
man.
Wow, she was awesome live. Really fun. I mean, she had all the little kids in the restaurant dancing, and
Oh yeah,
It was-
Jason was very impressed. So
yeah,
Yeah, something about her, man. Like her originals were very, very good. She played some stuff that she kind of talked about, being in the studio right now that nobody's ever heard really. And then she also played, some very well known covers, but in her own way, which I really enjoyed.
I always enjoy that too.
And she's a pretty good little guitar player, if I don't,
Yeah, she is. I commented on that as well.
plays a pretty Taylor, and
Oh yes, I do love Taylor guitars.
her whole setup was really nice. She has the really thin speaker, and then you got the bass tower down below.
Yeah,
Super portable.
I can't remember. I think isn't that a Fender setup?
I don't know. There's lots of different brands of those. I didn't really look and see what it was, but man, it sounded good.
Yeah, it did.
It's gonna be pretty easy to put in your
Yep.
car and
But I have to say, she needs to learn some Hall and Oates.
oh yeah, Tim gave her some shit about that. He's like, play some Hall and Oates. She's like, who's Hall and Oates? Like,
that's funny.
And her mom was there, and she just went, immediately she face palmed. She was like, "Oh my god!"
she's like, Whitney, how do you not know Hall and Oates? And then Tim was requesting Slayer. She did play.
I was messing with her at that point.
She did play some Michael Jackson though.
Oh, that was great. Yeah,
That was good.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really cool place down there at Meddy's. Another cool thing is you've been there. Eric, you did like all the launch for Meddy's, and so you probably you were talking about the guy they brought in, kind of bar rescue style. Well, not rescuing the bar, but that kind of that brings you in and trains you and shows you how to make drinks and whatnot. And
Yeah.
What is he called?
I just called him like a bar consultant.
Okay. So they make an old fashioned, and they've got this big, it looks like a huge wine glass, like one of those oversized wine glasses you see in memes.
Almost like a giant fishbowl or something.
Yeah. So they make the old fashioned, they make the drink, and then it looks like they've got like a little pipe there hooked up to a air compressor or something, and they just sit there and smoke it.
It's on
inside this.
It's on it's like built into like a oak thing, like an oak board kind of.
Yeah. So I was just, and that's cool stuff that people like to see, and it's just not your ordinary here's your old fashioned, you get that smoky taste, and it's just a cool aesthetic, watching that, being prepared for you.
That made it
really
smell
cool.
good in there too.
Yeah, it did.
I was like, "Ooh, who's making barbecue?" It's like, no,
Right.
they're just making cocktails over there.
Made me want to get one. My wife's like, "No, you can't have one."
Ooh. Yeah, the food was good over there. I enjoyed it, and music was great.
Yeah, that's always like that though, man. I enjoy Meddy's.
Mm-hmm. I'm sad I don't eat there every week anymore, but
Yep.
Yes, it
Your free card ran out, did
I
it?
know. I haven't tried to use it again, but I wouldn't try to do that. Really, that's not fair. But hopefully, I get some more of that soon because we're opening 2 new stores. So
Yeah,
better go
I
to those
saw the one.
openings.
I saw the one over at on the east side. Used to be at Jimmy's Egg.
Oh yeah, Harry and Rock. That was their first location.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, and they actually remodeled it recently, but then they opened up one at I think 21st and Greenwich,
Okay.
and then they opened one downtown.
So is this just a strictly Wichita business?
Yeah, right now. But in a couple months, they are moving to Tulsa.
Oh, right on.
So they're going to be opening a store in Tulsa, and I'm sure more places down the road. It's just kind
Man,
of
they need to get
beginning.
up Kansas City.
Yeah, I think they've been looking at it, but obviously, location's an important factor. With any restaurant.
Man.
But they're not opposed to just building one from the ground up. So they're just going to find a spot.
Yeah.
I know their food's good enough. So
Yeah. So do you know much about the family? I mean, I know you know the owner.
well, he's from Lebanon. I know he moved over here a long time ago. And, I know in Lebanon, 15, 20, 25 years ago, there was quite a bit of it's like a civil war basically kind of happening over there. So I know a lot of people got out of there at that time. And I don't know if that's why I ended up over here or.
You don't know much about his, story getting over here and
No, but I know he moved here from there and
to Wichita.
Yeah, and he was doing, but he started with those Ribbit computer stores.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, he started the Ribbit computer stores, but he always liked cooking, and his family had recipes. Obviously just Lebanese food and kind of Mediterranean type of food. Like he always thought there was a market for that here. There wasn't a lot of it around, and
Wow.
so
They're
he was like, "I'm doing it."
pretty much the only. I don't know of any other Mediterranean.
There's a few. There's Le Monde Cafe,
and it kind of differs too. I mean, you're talking about Lebanese food, and then you talk about Greek food.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of a combination of a few different cultures, I think. They're like baklava and their shawarmas and that sort of stuff. But
you're speaking my language,
man.
now.
It's just delicious. I mean, it's healthy. It's delicious.
Yeah,
it's affordable. It's not gonna bust your wallet or anything.
That lamb shawarma there, dude.
It is good.
God.
It's like my favorite fucking.
It's my favorite
food
too.
Everywhere, out anywhere.
Pretty much anything there I eat is pretty
hungry.
good. About anything I eat from that place is pretty spot on.
But yeah, we had a great time hanging out with Whitney, and then we got to go over to Eric's place and sample some of his wonderful brewing creations. We got to do the strawberry Hefeweizen and the Yingling clone, which were both just so good.
Yeah, that Yingling clone's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't had a Yingling in a long time, so I don't know how it compares. I'd have to have them side by side, I think.
Yeah, I think it would be.
But I mean,
I've never had it.
But really, it's just, I mean, what would you call it? Like a brown ale?
Yeah, it's just like a darker ale or a, yeah, it's a brown ale. Very good.
Oh no, it's fucking smooth as hell.
Yeah, you can just sit there and just drink beer after, and I did.
Yeah, that's trouble up there, dude, in that garage, man.
Yes, it is. Oh,
I have fell many a nights victim to that fucking keg cooler.
So what was the alcohol percentage on that one?
On which one? The Yingling?
The Yingling.
Yingling's 5.3.
So it's just a regular, you know,
Yeah.
beer.
That strawberry Hefeweizen's 6.7.
I had a few of those too.
I want to see how that tastes in about a week.
Yeah,
I liked it, but I think it needed to kind of, I don't know, condition a little bit. Still good, but
yeah,
that Yingling's fucking just
it
super
was just
delicious.
all malty and frothy and
Yeah.
Damn it. That
so
doesn't make me
good.
Nothing
fucking
wrong with
thirsty.
it. Nothing wrong with it. Like that one I'd probably enter in a competition or something, and
Call it something else.
or just call it Erie Street Brown Ale or something. You know?
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, it was a fun night, Derek. We're sorry you weren't there.
I know. I took off. I was like, nope, I'm going to stay home tonight and I'm going to fucking be productive and work on this and this and this. And had a whole list on my phone of shit I was going to work on. And then I ended up getting drunk. Got none of it done. Well, me and Gus wrote a couple songs, got a couple songs done, or mostly done. That was kind of weird how that worked out. But
Well, 2 songs?
well, it was one that I started writing earlier in the day. And the one that I started writing, I got like a verse down, and then I just kind of started writing like little rhymes and shit, you know. Not any lines or anything, just shit like points to rhyme with. And I showed that to Gus, and he just made a fucking song out of it. He didn't even. It's kind of
great.
gibberish, but it's really catchy. So I think
I did hear him play it.
we'll work on it a little more, I think, and put a little bit of substance in it. But then he had one he was working on that day too, and just fucking came about. So
Well, that's
we had an easy
very
night, man.
productive day in my book.
It's about 15, 20 minutes, and it's like, yeah, they both sound pretty fucking good. We'll put some bass and whatnot to it, and put some music behind it, and so
Yep.
yes.
Heck yeah.
But then then we just went to the bar and got absolutely zapped. Would be a good word for it. It was interesting.
That's all right. On our end, we got fairly zapped too.
Yeah, I was fully zapped. Thank God I wasn't driving.
Right? You put 3 guys in a garage with 6 cases of beer, you know. Something's gonna happen.
I'm telling you, dude, that's a dangerous spot in that place, man.
Oh, it
It was
is.
actually
It's a lot better now, though. I added another couch. That couch from the music room's out there now. Well, it
Oh,
wasn't
that
there
was-
Saturday, but
I was talking to my mom and dad about that. I was like, man, it's like you just have all this fucking beer on tap and nothing stopping you. So you're just sitting there fucking downing it, pour another one down it, and it gets fairly dangerous. You just got fucking music going, bullshitting, booze is fucking pouring. It's fun.
Yep.
Hurts the
Yep,
next
good-
day. Hurts
good
like hell,
people.
but
Good people, great conversation, great beer.
I tend to just kind of take it easy on it, you know, just kind of drink it. And Derek, you do get out of hand a little, but
yeah, that's kind of my nature though. That's
yeah,
it's kind of what I do. I don't know why, but I know going into it, I'm like, okay, don't be an asshole. Don't get carried away. Every fucking time I get carried away. Most of the time I'm an asshole. Just,
all I know
it
is
fucking happens.
all I know is I need to make some more of that Kiwi IPA, like pronto.
Yeah, speaking of getting carried away, Jesus Christ, did I get carried away on that shit?
How could you not?
I
Oh my
did.
God, that
I
stuff
did
was
save.
good.
I did save 1.5 beers for Swindler to try because he was with us and
Yep.
he was able to have one. And
I watched it go.
yeah, so I had the last half of one. It was still fucking just as good.
Yeah, no, that was probably one of my favorites they made so far.
I think this Yingling clone's probably top 3.
Yeah, it's good.
Probably. maybe number 2. I don't know. But now I think I'm getting the hang of some shit, and I think hopefully they're all like that, going forward. I don't know.
Yep.
Yes,
Nope. I
sir.
was just drinking on some wild turkey that night. That's about it.
Ooh.
Ooh, fight in a bottle.
I had a little tequila that night.
I
just a little.
told I messaged Glenn, and I was like, well, if I'm going to write some songs, I got to channel my inner shipman and start chugging on some wild turkey. And that had nothing to do with the writing process. I got really fucked up, but something worked. We got a couple songs out of it.
God.
So. But it had nothing to do with me drinking that. It was, matter of fact, if I didn't have a song written before that, I'm fairly sure that nothing would have been productive that night. Would have got shit done.
Well, I'm hoping to start working on that studio a little bit, just start chunking away at it, before it gets hot, basically. Just a little bit at a time. And
Yep. We can start doing, interviews and stuff in there. And
yep. Really
Yeah,
all
what
it
a-
needs is some insulation, pretty much.
what a hell of a deal. Come over for an interview and have some
Some beers.
fresh tapped beer.
Right?
Yeah,
And
it's
if you're feeling a little dainty, I even have White Claw on tap.
that shit's just as dangerous because that fucking goes down like fucking
I didn't try
Seven
it.
Up.
Kool-Aid. It's like Kool-Aid, dude.
it's fucking just guzzle that shit down, man. No, I don't know. I've never had actual White Claw. But,
I haven't either, so I don't know how it compares at all. But
I don't either, but I know for like a 3% beer or whatever the fuck that is, got pretty fucked up on it before.
yeah, it's still there. It's not really my cup of tea, so it just kind of sits there, I guess. Probably should drink it soon so I can make something new.
Yeah, well, I'll come up one of these nights and I'll fucking empty it out.
Jesus.
10 gallons.
I'm about to start
5 gallons.
I'm gonna have to start having you fucking get some kits, Derek.
I know. I keep saying I'm going to, and then
Or actually, going forward now, you don't even get to get kits. Just
Hey.
buy grain, dude.
I'm doing you a favor, dude.
Just buy
Get
grain.
rid of that White Claw that you don't want to drink.
I'll drink it, but it's
You
gonna
yell
take me
at
a while.
then you yell at me. You say I need to get rid of it. I offer to get rid of it for you, and then you fucking
He's like, hold on.
start charging me.
No, that would be illegal, Derek. But if you want to buy me some grains, that's not illegal.
I'm sure we can work something out.
I'm just kind of excited to start brewing a little better, process wise, and going down that pathway because there's no turning back once you get that going that route. So,
Well, if you spend that kind of money, I can understand.
well, it's easy to do in the brewing world.
It's easy to do in any world you get into.
Right.
The funny thing is, a lot of guys tell their wives and girlfriends, like, well, I make it myself. It's cheaper. Well, in theory, it can be, but there's always something new you want to get, or, a tool to make your process easier or quicker or whatever, right?
Or you got friends like me who come over and drink it all. And
Yeah, or we need a bigger
Mhm.
fucking fermenter now because we need to make double batch because my friends guzzle it.
Yes, we
Can't
do.
can't help it. We'll make shittier beer. I don't know
Well,
what
hey,
to do.
honestly, it's a good thing I have guinea pigs though, because this is what I need. Because I don't want to be, if I ever decide to pursue some sort of brewing, like on a scale where I can sell it, I don't want to have some shitty product. So this is the process you go through to get there. So, not saying I'm an expert or I'm ever going to be, but it's a fun hobby.
You make
and
good beer.
at the end of it, you get beer, so it's a fucking pretty cool hobby in my fucking opinion.
Yeah, you want to make good
Yeah.
beer? You're making good beer. So, yeah. So coming up, we have a interview with the one and only Billy Don Burns. Glenn Shipman went out and interviewed him. He played Lizard's Lounge. When was that? Thursday?
Yeah.
Last Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
And thank you to Damaris too. She's the one that really got this set up. and
Exactly.
got me in contact with his manager and all that. And I really wish I could have made it out and met the guy, because the dude is, honest to God, a legend. And he's written songs for Willie
Wall.
and Coulter Wall. Yeah, more
Cody
recently,
Jinks.
Cody Jinks,
Really?
and didn't realize he wrote "I'm Not the Devil," so by Cody Jinks, and that was like one of his fucking bigger songs. And yeah, Coulter Wall, Whitey Morgan, all that. So really cool interview. You can tell, you can just listen to him and you just hear the miles in his voice, man. Like
A lot of them.
that dude, that's a true blue fucking musician, man.
I think he said something like he has more miles than a truck driver.
Probably. But yeah, but before that, we're going to listen to, you get a little bluegrass on there, huh? Get a little Mandolin Monroe.
Yeah.
Sweet.
She's
Thanks
Yeah,
for sending
she's-
your stuff in.
she is pretty badass herself. We've got to listen to her at Pat's Picking Parlor. She usually plays smaller venues like the Artichoke and stuff like that around Wichita. She plays a lot. I think she's might be out of Winfield, because I see her playing in Winfield quite a bit.
Yep. She's out of Winfield.
And yeah, but the got that big red cat sound recorded out at Peck, and there is a saw in this one. I don't know if you can hear it or not. but-
Oh shit!
Like a
dude.
chainsaw or
No, like
No,
a
just
fucking big saw, dude.
oh
Like,
right.
like an old timey saw you would saw.
I forgot all about that until I remembered seeing a picture. Luke took a picture of them in the studio playing a saw. You'll hear it in the fucking very beginning. It's that kind
Oh,
of eerie sounding.
Yeah. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
So he can kind of do it. I don't know.
I don't even
that's
know how you
probably
go for recording that.
that's probably the first time he's ever recorded a saw. So,
Oh, cool.
Oh,
but
dang.
yeah, so pretty unique. But yeah, she's got a great voice and really talented. So I suppose we'll throw that on there so you guys can listen to it.
Sweet. Let's get into it, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
The night I burned the devil down, I sealed it with a kiss. He came up from down below for something that wasn't his. Devil, are you calling? I've waited for so long.
Hi, this is Glenn Shipman. We're coming live from the Lizards Lounge over here on Greenwich and Kellogg. I'm sitting here with the famous in our circles anyway, Billy Don Burns, country music warrior and legend. How you doing, Billy?
Doing good, thank you, Glenn.
Man, I sure appreciate you taking out the time to sit down and talk with me today. We're kind of lowballing here in the back room with our cigarettes and our whiskeys. Meet another person that loves to drink whiskey on the rocks, so that's good.
I like to drink and smoke and rum and up girls first.
Well, if you don't know it, he's playing tonight. Doors open at 7. A show starts at 8 with Damaris. And then you're going to probably go on about 9:30, 10.
I don't even know yet.
Good. And it's, well, you know, for some of our listeners that maybe don't recognize you, I know that you're pretty famous in country circles. Just for a little bit of an introduction for some of our fans that might not know you, what are some of the things that you're known for besides your storytelling?
You know that when that legend thing started, I tried to stop it. It started 7 or 8 years ago, and I never could. I thought, man, I hope Willie Nelson don't hear I'm calling me a legend, you know, because I know Willie's recorded 2 of my songs. I think what got me half-ass famous, which is probably what I am, was this is my 50th year doing this.
5 decades country music.
And that's a long time, you know. I've got more miles than most truck drivers, because they retire eventually, you know. And I think I got that $1 Million Mile award to get, you know. And I've had songs recorded by Johnny Paycheck, Mel Tillis, Sammy Kershaw, Connie Smith.
I think the Connie Smith one's my favorite.
She was a great one. Is a great one. Miss Marty Stewart, you know.
Yeah.
And then the new guys come along and started recording the songs, and it really gave me a boost. Like
Tyler Childers.
Cody Jinks and Colter Wall and Whitey Morgan. That's 3. It's a bunch of them's been cutting them lately. And Tyler, I recently met him, and I didn't realize it, but I'd met him before, and he said, "Man, you borrowed my guitar." I said, "I didn't have a guitar with me." And he said, "No, man, you flew in New Orleans. It was in West Virginia." And I didn't remember none of that. So I think some old girl slipped a Mickey in my drink that night.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Well, I tell you, 50 years in music, and any kind of music, is kind of a milestone for sure. But that kind of brings up a question that I was thinking about on the way over here. You've got to see some of the, starting back with country and western, country swing, into the outlaw country, into the Bakersfield sound, and you've met a lot of those guys. What do you think the current state of country music is compared to previous generations of it?
Well, I've not listened to mainstream radio in 25 or 30 years. I'm not going to badmouth them. I'm proud for all of them. And I tell you what, here a while back, I don't know, it's 4 or 5 years ago, Tanya Tucker's one of my oldest friends in the business. I pulled up at her house, and she said, "Jump in the car with me and go see Kenny Chesney. He's playing at he had the Nashville football stadium packed, 67,000 people." We get down there with Kenny, and Tanya said, "Kenny, you know Billy Don?" And old Kenny grabbed me and gave me a big hug and said, "Everybody knows Billy Don." And made me feel so good, because he could have been a smart ass, because he had 67,000 people.
Yeah.
But he was real nice, man. And I couldn't tell you one of Kenny's songs because I don't listen to mainstream radio, but he was a nice cat.
Good. And I think that kind of brings me into one of my theories about country music that always kind of comes up, is that, even when I was a kid, I remember we listened to, Merle Haggard, and Johnny Paycheck was another one that I'm real fond of. And then Garth Brooks came along, and my dad and every one of my uncles and every one of my cousins that were older than I were griping about Garth Brooks and how it changed country music. And my dad was telling me that that's the way they felt about Hank Williams when he came along. He changed country music, and I think country music is changing all the time. But I do think that songwriters like you get back into the storytelling aspect of it, and that's something we can't lose in our heritage. So,
I'll tell you how that storytelling come about was, I don't know if you know it or not, but I went to prison for a while. And
Was that with Johnny Paycheck?
No. I when Johnny went to prison the last time, I carried him up there. You know, I worked with Johnny.
I know
about
you
a year
guys
and
had a
half.
connection somehow like that.
And anyway, so I was in prison, and my girlfriend, I told her some kind of story, and she said, "Let's put that on the internet." And I don't remember what story it was now, but it got like 600 or 700 likes, and so I started talking about some of that stuff, and it really helped me in prison to go. I couldn't see no internet or nothing, but I'd call her and she'd say, "Man, we got all these people like this and said this or that," and it helped. It helped
Kind of focus some of your songwriting.
Yeah, I don't steal or nothing like that. I was working for Shooter Jennings at the time, which first time I toured with Shooter, he said, "You know why I called you to tour with me, don't you?" And I said, "Because it's the Kansas story, really." I said, "I don't, Shooter." I said, "Probably because I knew your mom and dad." He said, "No." He said, "My wife, Misty, who was from Topeka, Kansas, bought your Heroes album when she was 18, and it changed her life."
No kidding.
And he said, "She's been on my ass ever since I married her to tour with you." And I'd never met Missy at that time. And I said, "Shooter, I love your wife." And it's kind of funny now. It's like if I need to talk to Shooter, I call Misty. Shooter needs to talk to me, he calls Misty. And we go to Misty for everything.
You know, we're standing about 100 yards from where Wade Jennings lived when he lived here in Wichita. He's one of Waylon's grandsons and Shooter's nephews, and he plays here at the Lizards Lounge quite a bit. We're at the Lizards Lounge tonight, by the way, and again, come out and see Billy Dawn and Damaris come out. They're starting at 8 o'clock. Doors are open now. Drinks are already cold, so get out and see them. But I came here and watched Cody Jinks one night 5 or 8 years ago, and there's about 10 people in here, and now Cody's huge.
Yeah, he uses me every now and then, and it's always a packed, sold out auditorium, man.
Yeah.
And he's a good boy. I'm proud for him. He's a very good human being.
So how do you think the internet has changed some of because you've been on the road for 50 years, I'm sure you've done every type of marketing possible to get your stuff out.
You know, I've played this town a few times, Wichita. I remember playing the Air Force Base a couple of times, and
I caught you at the Elbow Room last time you were here.
I started to say I played that place a time or two, and maybe even another or two. Every now and then I'll go to a club and find out that I've been there and don't even remember it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to a bunch of clubs in my life, but it's been good to me. Man, if I died tonight, it was great. I met most of my heroes. A bunch of them recorded my songs. Has it been easy? Hell no, it ain't been easy, but it's been great. You know.
So what kind of advice would you give to someone that's just starting to write music and trying to get into the scene? I know you lived in Nashville a little while, and that's probably a little different market than.
I lived there for about 30 years and go there a lot right now. Jeff that I got with me tonight, Jeff started playing with me when he was 16, over 30 years ago, and he left a few times. He put John Carter, a band together, Johnny Cash's son, and was with the Cashes for a few years. But what I tell people when they ask me is, if you really believe in your songs, you should go to a recording center like L.A., Nashville, Chicago, Atlanta, New York, and if you hang around them studios and play your songs for people recording, if you are a good writer, somebody will cut one of your songs. Because it's hard to sit in Wichita or somewhere and get anything happening like that. But if you hang around them studios, somebody will listen to your song and like I say, if they're good, somebody will cut one.
You know, I think that when you came from California, you went from Arkansas to California, and then you got into the military, right? Were you drafted or?
I got drafted. I got out in 1970. Bought that guitar I'm playing, and went to California and started the band, and Merle Haggard was just becoming the biggest thing on the planet. And I read in the magazine where Merle had a new publishing company called Shade Tree Music, but he couldn't write for it.
You read my mind. That's exactly where I was going to ask.
He was under contract to write for Buck Owens' company, Blue Book, and I thought, I'm going to go up there and see if I can get something to Merle, you know. And I told the band, I said, it was in Indio, California, which is down south. And I said, I'm going to Bakersfield and try to meet Merle Haggard. And they said, you ain't going to meet Merle Haggard. And I said, well, I'm going to Bakersfield. I get up there, and that's when they had phone booths. And I got in the phone booth, and I looked, Shade Tree Music, man. I went to it. And the lady that run it, she said, well, you need to talk with Roy Nichols. He listens to her song. Well, Roy Nichols was a big star to me, man. You know, he's had that Merle Haggard sound there on the guitar.
Yeah.
And Roy, he sat there and listened to a couple, and he said, yeah, we'll publish them. He said, you want to meet Merle? And I said, yeah. And I'll never forget, man, when we went to Merle's office, Merle was smaller than me. I thought he was a lot bigger.
Yeah.
You know, and Merle said, Merle was with Bill Woods, and one of Merle's first albums on Capitol, he had a song called Bill Woods of Bakersfield. And Merle said, hell, Bill, won't you get him on Jimmy's show today? Jimmy Thompson had a TV show in Bakersfield. And next thing I know, I'm on my first TV show. Merle Haggard and Roy Nichols sitting in the office watching me. And also, little did I realize, some 20 years later, I'd get to produce an album on Merle Haggard and Johnny Paycheck.
Yeah.
Just, you know, it's all it just happened. But again, you gotta be around.
You got to put yourself around the people that.
Yeah, because they're probably not gonna. I mean, you might catch one in Wichita at a show, but if you're hanging around studios, you'll catch them. There's always somebody recording, you know.
Because talent kind of rises to the top. If you're.
Yeah.
If you're a good songwriter, it doesn't matter, you know.
And you know, Willie. I went on Willie's bus one time, and I said, Willie, Hank Cochran just bought me a brand new Lincoln Town car to sign a contract with him. I said, can you believe that? And Willie said, yeah, I believe that. And I heard him say it, but I just kept talking. And Willie grabbed me and shook me, and he said, you're a great writer, man. You know, he said I was a great writer, and I just kept talking, and he shook me. And I got tears in my eyes, man.
Well, that is a hell of a compliment, because I think he's probably one of the greatest songwriters of all time.
Oh, yes, sir.
And even in our circles, he doesn't get as much credit as I think he should. You know, just him and Roger Miller are my two favorite songwriters.
Well, you can't beat them two. I mean, I got to meet Roger one time. When I moved to Nashville, Roger had moved to California, you know, and then one night they had a benefit for a guitar player that was bad sick that used to play with Roger, and I knew the guitar player. And I went, and his place was packed, and standing next to me was Roger Miller, man, and that's the only time I ever met him, but certainly one of the greats.
Yeah.
Certainly one of the greats.
You know, I read a biography about him that he was in a fight with his wife and was driving from Dallas to somewhere in Louisiana to play a show, and without even really ever touching his guitar or getting a notepad or anything, he wrote husbands and wives in the car, and got to wherever they were playing that night, told the guys what key it was in, and performed it on stage without ever doing it. And to me, that's just it's in your soul, and I think that's probably the type of writer you are too. You know, but I want to ask you, what is your songwriting process? I mean, you come up with a chord progression first, or you have some lyrics in mind, or does it just kind of come?
You know, some people in Nashville got me to do a tour with a couple of big-time songwriters. You know, I've never had that big hit, but everybody in Nashville says your shit's going to really hit when you die. Well, and I hope it does for my children's sake, but I'm getting old. I'm forgetting what I was telling you about, but
just kind of explaining how you write a song.
Yeah. Well, that tour was mostly colleges, and we're supposed to tell how we wrote a song. I did 2 of the gigs, and I got off the tour because I don't. Every now and then somebody say, "Man, that's a great hook line." Well, it's just in the song. I don't have a hook line, you know. And they either come or they don't come, and that's about all I can say about them. You know, I don't really have a process, and I write the whole thing at once.
One time, huh?
The melody, the everything. You remember my song, I'm a train bound for nowhere?
Yeah. Just listen to
You
it all
know,
the way over.
I went to California and turned around and come back to Nashville, man. I was between Memphis and Nashville, almost back, and I was dead, you know, and I was talking to myself driving, and I said, man, you're like a damn train, you know. You don't tire and you don't bleed, and I thought,
Well,
they
there
called
it
me
is.
Lonesome 77203. And I wrote that riding in the car, but it actually wrote the melody at the same time. I knew it was going to be in a minor, and I had it by the time I got to Nashville.
Man, that's amazing. You know, I'm amazed by given talent. You know, and that's and I'm sure that you've developed that over 50 years too. But you know, it's probably just as hard to write a song now as it was 50 years ago.
You know, it's actually harder now. I'm about rode out, I think.
I don't think so.
I don't write like when I was with old Hank Cochran, man. Of course, Hank, he was a recluse, and he kept me in exile for 7 years. But we'd write 4 and 5 a day, man.
Was that your Opry connection? How?
Well, no. First time I got on the Grand Ole Opry, Porter Wagner heard me, and he said, "You want to do a show on the Opry Saturday night?" And I said, "Yeah." And Porter picked up the phone and called. I can't remember if it was Bud Wendell or Hal Durham. It was managing the Opry at the time. Said Billy Don Burns will be on my 8:30 show Saturday night. I thought, man, I've heard.
And that was at the old Raymond, though.
Oh no, that was out at the new one.
New one.
And that's when I really learned that you're only a phone call away from about anything. You know, they didn't ask nothing about me. Porter just said he's going to be on there. Then the second time I did the Opry, me and Hank Cochran had a #1 Gavin Americana record called Desperate Men.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time I was on the Opry, Shooter called me and he said, "Me and Mama's doing the Opry Saturday night, and we want you to do it with us, and you do one, Mama do one, and I'll do one." And I got there, and Shooter said, "Mama wants you to do Is He the Rider or Is He the Song?" And I didn't even know Miss Jessie. I've known her a long time, but I didn't know she knew any of my music.
Yeah.
And I said, "Yes, ma'am." I told Miss Jessie, I said, and I did that one last time I was on there. But I get a shot on it every now and then. It's a big thing to me, but I don't know. Just being in the right place at the right time is a lot of it.
A lot of it. So let me ask you this: when you have a song that you've written, and I know you probably treat them as kids too. I know a lot of songwriters do, but do you ever hear, "Hey, this might be good for Cody Jinks," or "This might be good for Shooter," or "This might be good for whoever," and send it over to them, or do they just kind of seek it out from you?
You know, when I was in prison, Cody Jinks bought my album Nights When I'm Sober, and he cut Gather Creek Church off of it, and then later he cut another one. He cut Stranger. You kind of missed it on Stranger, but Gather Creek came out good, and you know, I made several $1,000s last year on Cody. And Colter Wall, he did my song Wild Dogs, and December 16th they ran a commercial, some hot auto clothing company in Seattle. Just on the internet from the 16th to Christmas, they sent me $2,500 for my part on that one. So it's.
I don't think a lot of people realize just how many songs have to be played and on TV for you to even make $1,000. You know, it's as a writing credit. You know, it's insane the number of plays you have to get just to get up.
Yeah, you know, I get 1 or 2 cut a month probably right now by people you never heard of, and you probably never will. Most of them ain't that good, but man, every now and then the Cody Jinks comes along and Colter Wall and you know, and my buddies that write that mainstream stuff, you know, that's where the big money is.
Yeah.
But I don't write. I just write. It's like, and mine I guess ain't mainstream, but hell, they all make $1 million on a song now. Number one song.
Yeah.
Some of them make 3 or 4 million, man.
you consider yourself a mentor in any means in our industry?
Shit, I don't know, brother. I look at myself like the least of the least and the worst of the worst. I mean, I don't know.
You think Cody Jinks or Coulter Wall would call you one of their mentors?
I like to never got them boys quit calling me sir.
Well, then I think that answers that question. Yeah, it's. I know it's a real pleasure for me to be standing here with you. Just, I think we could talk for 6 hours just picking your brain about all the different things you've seen over 50 years. But just, what's one of your favorite moments in doing music that you've come across? Just.
Man, I've had a lot of good moments. You know, with Johnny Paycheck and Merle Haggard, and I'll tell you a big thing to me. I got to work 3 or 4 shows with Ernest Tubb.
Oh, one of my favorites.
That was a big thing to me. You know, in Lefty for Sale, those guys were bigger than life to me. You know, and I just had a lot of good moments.
Well, I think you probably still got a lot in front of you. Hopefully, you have some good moments down here at the Lizards Lounge tonight too. So
I hope the people come out, man. And when I sell merch, if somebody tells me they ain't got no money, I'll give them some merch.
Well, I've got a credit card in my pocket, so I'm going to get some before I leave here. But I'll tell you what, where can we find you on the interwebs now?
Well, we got a website called www.billydonburns.net. We got the Facebook stuff, and
yeah, you really should get out and reach out to his Facebook. He's only got about 3,500 likes right now, and that should be about 15 times that. So, I don't. If you guys can do me a favor and go to facebook.com/BillyDonBurns and give him a like and see where he's going next, because I think you're down in Mississippi this week next, right?
I never know what next week is, but tomorrow night is Fort Worth, next night Dallas, and next night Arkansas.
Where are you playing out in Fort Worth and Dallas?
Fort Worth is called it's a record shop.
Oh yeah.
I forget what
It's right there down the street from the stockyards.
Yeah, it's in that area.
Yeah.
And I'm playing a club in Dallas I ain't never played called Mama Tried.
Well, it's got a good name.
Yeah, because I turned 66 in prison.
Life without parole. Well, Billy Don, I sure appreciated the time you spent with me today. And
thank you, brother. I tell you, thank you, Glenn, because I appreciate it, brother.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time with us. And make sure you follow Billy Don on all of his website. Go to his website, go on his Facebook. But most importantly, come down here and go to a show, get off your ass, and get down here and see him in person. So,
you know, I also want to mention old Jeff Brown, my booking agent. He is really the best I ever had, and thanks to him is one reason I'm here tonight. I mean, he keeps me booked, you know.
Yeah.
I told him the other day, I said, you know, Jeff, why don't we just, since I'll be 71 in July, I said, why don't you book me every night of the week till I die? And he said, I know you would do that. He said, I ain't going to do it. I said, I'd like that, Jeff. So that's what I've been trying to get him to do lately, but he ain't owned up to doing it yet. So
yeah.
But, you know, it's all I know. I never learned nothing else, and I've done it so long. Can't keep a woman, because one of them sat here with Ike said, won't you come home where it's normal? And I said, baby, life normal to me is being with strangers in some town.
Yeah.
And it is, you know.
Meeting somebody new every night.
Out here, I got money in my pocket, and it's all good out here mostly, you know. So, but thank you for the interview. And
well, thank you, sir. I sure
hope I see
appreciate
some folks in Wichita tonight. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. And this is Glenn from ICT-radio.com. Make sure you get out and see us tonight here at the Lizards Lounge, East Side. We're at Kellogg and Greenwich. And until next time, make sure you go to shows.
All right, that was the legendary Billy Don Burns, and we want to thank him and Glenn for sitting down and doing the interview. And I didn't have to twist Glenn's arm. I was just like, you want to do it? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, welcome back, Glenn.
So yeah, it was good hearing his voice on an interview. And then once again, thank you to Damaris for getting that all going. So
Yeah, thanks, Damaris.
yeah, man. So,
Yeah, it was a big interview.
You can hear the 50 years in that guy's voice, man. Yeah, cool dude.
I hope that's the beginning of some really, really good interviews, of true legends in their fields to come. I hope we continue going down that path. And
I know what you're referring to, Eric.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I hope we continue to get
Yes,
people that are some of the best in their fields to be able to talk.
I'll say, man, I've sent off shit to like Bert Kreischer and shit, and
yeah,
hoping to get back. I just want to go fucking party with him.
I hit the Trailer Park Boys up.
Oh yeah, that too.
Well, you guys know who I hit up.
Fucking Joe Rogan, man.
The legend himself.
I'd shit my pants if we got that. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. I when I was talking to Shelly about it, I was like, damn, I think I'd be more nervous about that than probably anybody. I mean, you could put me in a room with Donald Trump, and I would not be as intimidated by a person than Joe Rogan. I mean, he's just so intelligent, and of course, being a podcaster himself, and having a show like kind of what we do, we just kind of throw around our ideas. And
yeah, it's kind of like that long form, like it's not so structured. It's just you sit down and talk type
right
of deal. And
but you know what I mean, just doing podcasting. And he's kind of a
he was that was the first, that guy's the first podcaster I ever listened to. I listened to him all the time, but didn't really listen to much else. And yeah, so I actually got tickets to him over the weekend.
Well, so hopefully you don't need to use them.
Yeah, I know, right?
But yeah, that's coming up in November, right?
I think so.
November 14th.
That sounds right.
So, we're trying to do big things over here. We don't know if they're going to happen, but we're going to.
Yeah, you can't ever succeed at these types of things unless you try.
You got to shoot your shot, man.
I sent a hell of a well-worded letter. So
yeah, you did. Yeah, I sent one off to Bert Kreischer, and I was half drunk and.
Well, good. That's probably going to be well received.
Yeah.
Didn't sound near as professional as yours, but I didn't.
Good. He might respond better to that than
right.
I didn't swear or anything in there, so. But
yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see, man. Hey,
I think the chance that we have those that they're going to be performing here coming up. So to me, it's a good opportunity for them to connect with some locals on the at a grassroots level. And
not that he even needs to.
No, but it's just no, but it seems like something that
I think he would do.
I think anybody should do that if you're on tour as a band or whatever. Find somebody you could talk to try to. I mean, if you sell one more ticket, it was worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're not going to waste too much of your time.
No. Nope.
But yeah. All right. So let's get down to our sponsor before we get into Nest Connections.
Right on. Yeah.
So, and this one's a long one, so bear with me. But Saturday was a fresh tap. Everything is temporary. 6.6 ABV. It's a white milk stout served on nitro, cocoa nib, and vanilla bean tinctures, combined with milk, sugar, and Reverie Roasters Lima coffee, Lima, however that is, cold brewed in-house to create layers upon layers of flavor. Velvety smooth nitro lets it all slide and meld into a crescendo at the 3/4 drink mark. But just like life, birds and bees, trees and sunlight, everything is temporary. And sorry, there are no crowlers.
So. Sounds like a really good, like chocolatey kind of
It doesn't look like it, man. It's just it's real light. It looks like a real light, refreshing. Yeah.
But I know with the cocoa nibs and the coffee and that sort of stuff, like it's going to have this like darker flavor. Even if it does look light, I think it's still going to have this really, really delicious, rich flavor. And the milk sugar makes it kind of like almost like a milkshake in a way, like on your palate.
Well, it looks.
I bet it's delicious.
It looks.
Does he have somebody over there writing these scripts for him?
I don't know.
Christmas.
I don't know, man. He's been doing it for a long time. And
fantastic.
It does look
I don't
good.
know, but it sounds good.
It doesn't look anything like the flavor profile that it's described, though. That's kind of what intrigues me a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't look.
It looks like an IPA or something, but
Yeah,
it's not.
but as usual, they never disappoint. They're always throwing out good beer, good food. Monday nights, chicken fried.
Oh,
Which I can't say it enough. Every week we say it. We need to get out there for that.
You do.
But they actually did a women's collab day on their
I saw that.
beer, so that's cool too. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Yeah. Was that all women brewers?
Yeah, I guess there's a picture.
I saw the picture. Yeah.
So yeah, that's very cool. They're always doing cool shit like that, man. They're real thoughtful about how they go about
Yeah, that's why we connect with them so well.
Yeah. So like, and even just the Reverie Roasters and that including that, and it's about every
Spice
week.
Merchant and
Yeah, they're always putting local business. Always doing something with another local business, local music.
Yep.
then their acts of kindness too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's almost Nord 20 too. Their anniversary, which is 420. They're gonna have 7 bands, 5 collab beers, and dude, it's gonna be badass. I'm sure the patio will be back open. Granted, hopefully the weather's good. But it looks like that they collaborated with River City, Wichita Brewing Company, Walnut River, and Hopping Gnome.
Oh wow.
yeah. See, there you go. Like, I like that they're not in competition with these guys, dude. They bring them in and like, hey, let's fucking have a party.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Pretty much
do
the
it.
whole theme of Wichita
That's
here,
Yeah.
and
That's
our. Go ahead, Derek.
That's how it should be. It's you're
Yeah.
not gonna get anywhere, competing with everybody else. You guys are only gonna get stronger by sharing beers, collaborating with beers. Same way with the music.
So I'm gonna tell you that their Nord 20 party is actually on the 18th of April, not the 20th. But you guys will be surprised at the bands that they have coming. They have 4 locals and Caitlin Myers, Spirit of the Stairs, the Lizzie Tramps, and Pretend Friend. And then the regional bands they have that day are Cluster Pluck
Oh yeah.
and Vandaliers.
Nice.
They're going to have some live art and raffles, commemorative glassware. So if you collect glassware, they have that. They'll have 2 extra pouring stations. And just going to be a lot to do there,
We
they do it big.
We had the pleasure of seeing Cluster Pluck there last time they were in town.
Right. Super good.
Very cool band. And so well tell them we sent you so they know that we're doing our job.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, we're not wrong. We might be wrong about a lot of shit. This is not one of them.
We're not wrong about beer
No. Or food.
or food. No.
Or nice people.
That's right.
So
Yeah, I might have to make that. That's
sounds like a good time.
18th of April, which is a Saturday. Perfect. Bring your dog, bring your kids, whatever kid friendly. So
Bring your dogs, kids.
bring your kids' dogs and your. So, Tim, I think it's about that time.
Yes, it is about that time. I've been previewing these, so I usually don't. I usually
As
go, but-
usual, I have left them alone. I don't want to be surprised by the
Me
fucking
either.
freak show that is Wichita Misconnections.
So, you know, last week was kind of a big disappointment. They were just really lazy.
It's not very
These are
nice.
kind of lazy too, but I haven't previewed them all, but I've got a couple here that. All right, so let's start out with Lake Fun. Looking for the guy that met me at Cheney Lake a couple years ago when I had my camper there. If you see this, hit me up.
God, that's so. Sounds like a mystery, man.
Right.
Right. I mean, how do you think that guy's going to see that?
Well, you never know.
Oh my God. No, we're not talking about that one. Oh, people.
Why not? Why not? Why not?
It's vulgar.
Read it. Come on. How
Okay.
vulgar can it be?
It's vulgar.
If it's too vulgar, I'll cut it out.
Okay.
I'll just put a splat right there, and then we'll move
Well,
on.
that's what they're talking about.
Oh my god!
In Andover or Augusta. Any couples want or any
Oh my
else want to join us?
Wow, that one is a little vulgar.
That
Well,
is
you
filthy.
think I don't know what vulgar is?
That is filthy. I need to go rinse my mouth out with some. Fucking,
Right.
Holy shit! Well, I didn't know that. Like, yeah.
I can't believe that's allowed on there. Honestly,
Well, it was spelled correctly.
makes you wonder what gets flagged and removed. Like that
Yeah. Well,
passes.
if that,
Just so you know, it was spelled correctly.
oh
Okay.
yeah, Wichita, you never disappoint.
Okay. Panties wanted for cash. I would like use panties thongs for cash. Willing to meet in public place like Quick Trip. Thank you and have a great day.
Boy, these fuckers are really making up for not showing up last week. Jesus,
I love that. Thank you and have a great day part.
just fucking swinging for the fucking fences, man. Wow.
God, that is just horrible.
Okay. Here we go.
Sounds lucrative, though. I will say. Pretty easy cash, I would imagine.
I wonder what the exchange rate is.
I don't know. I bet you could Google
Hit
it
it.
though.
Hit them up. Sell them some of your panties, Tim.
Smells like chode. What the hell?
Hey, this isn't what I was bargaining for. All right. Blonde lady saying All Stars Go-Karts was better. That's the title. We chatted a bit as my daughter was driving the go-karts. I didn't get your name, but I was very interested in seeing you again. I offered you some beer from the pitcher I couldn't finish. Hit me up and I will give you my number.
Does it sound like a guy or a girl?
I think that's a guy.
Oh,
Huh.
that was legitimate.
Yeah, that one is legitimate.
Not like the last two.
God, the last two are just like fucking red flags. Like,
Fuckers need to go to church.
right?
Oh, you guys. Here we go. He's back. Where are those burly married bears? West Wichita. Divorced white male looking for guys who need to scratch that occasional itch. Yes.
Dude, I'm telling you, that would fucking bust me up laughing every time.
This guy is persistent.
This shit must be working, or I think he'd give up.
Man,
What do you think?
I don't. Well, let's hit him up.
God. I swear we need to dedicate a week and just create fake accounts and get a
Oh, we shouldn't joke about that.
No, I don't want to know.
Well, not with
Nothing
that.
to do with these.
Not with that particular one, but
No.
some of them we feel like we can solve. Like last week,
Yeah, that was a good one. I've got another one too that I'm saving.
I think we solved that one.
I think we did too. We're not going to go into detail.
We'll keep all parties anonymous.
But we are 1 for 85.
So yeah, I think we actually solved a misconnection last week. Believe it or not.
It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah. Just how small of a town it really is.
Couple 100,000.
That's right. So here we go. We're gonna move on. Miss Double D around? Question mark. We played around a few times. You're a little older and taller than me. I was the guy with the rocker look, long and strong. I'm looking to play around again. Hopefully I see you in your bedroom, ...
Oh my God. That's too open-ended. Like,
Well, she may be like, yeah, I call myself Miss Double D.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
don't know.
You never know the
Maybe.
story behind these.
yep.
Maybe the long and strong thing was a
That was
Something
like,
he said, or
Yeah.
little joke.
Mm-hmm.
I just pictured South Broadway and missing teeth and some of this. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh,
Yeah.
dirty.
Yeah.
Potentially some bed bugs involved, and that sort of thing.
This one is here's just something that's just completely vague. I just why even spend the time to do it?
Yeah, because you got to like log in and
You got to create an account, and I mean, anyway.
You guys seem pretty well versed in this.
I used to be on the
Craigslist.
musicians thing that where you're looking for musicians, whatever, long time ago. So I kind of know how it works.
Looking for
Anyway.
that occasional itch to scratch.
I was looking for. Fuck you, Eric. Okay. Quick trip at Greenwich. Orange Nissan, I think, around 5 o'clock. You got gas at the end. You are very pretty. Wondering if you're into girls. Well, I am.
Oh shit.
Interesting. Man, people get on here like frequently.
Dude, it's new stuff all the time. Yeah. Because like I was saying, you can see what I've clicked on before.
Yeah.
And it's 20 plus every time.
Wow.
So over the course of a week, there's people putting stuff on here. So like we like to do, I like to end these on something that could possibly be a misconnection, truly not something nefarious or sexual. You deviants.
Let the freak flag fly.
All right. So
They do.
Sadie at the alley. So the alley's in Derby, right?
No, the alley in, what is it, like 13th and Greenwich, or 13th and, there's like a Warren Theater up there. And
Okay. So this could be somebody that knows Sadie and is just too shy, in my opinion. So you were in the bowling lane next to me. I thought you had the most graceful form and an absolutely gorgeous smile. If you are reading this, I would love to take you out sometime.
Does he know her name? Does
Sadie.
Does he know her name because he looked at the
Oh,
TV where it
What
says
is
your
that?
name.
you know what? That is a possibility.
You astute bastard. I missed that completely.
Yeah, that's very a very good possibility. And I thought this was somebody that possibly knew Sadie personally. Well, hopefully, Sadie, you're a listener and you have graceful form and an absolutely gorgeous smile.
And we haven't run you off yet with the first
Scratch and
few
post and-
misconnections and the
Scratch and posts.
swapping stuff.
Ugh.
Oh, dude, you have to get rid of that.
That one was too far.
I told you.
Oh, we ain't got to get rid of that one, do we?
It's too far.
I guess not. I mean, we say a lot more gross. I don't know. That's
It's pretty fucking gross.
That's.
Well, if you don't know what we're talking about, check at the very end of the podcast. I might hide that one in there like an Easter egg.
God.
It's going to make the podcast somewhere.
Kicks it off. No, it'd be horrible.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god. Yeah, these just get better and better, but we
No,
we
I would like people to stick around. Well, I mean, some people might stick around after hearing that at first.
I'd sure like feedback on this little segment. If you guys want to let us know whether you like this segment and want us to continue doing it.
That one kind of grossed me out, but I do enjoy listening to, I don't know, people. And like last week, I think we figured one out. So, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
we're here to help. I mean,
always
that's
a possibility that
that is the goal, is to help people out. I mean, we want to help you find, those misconnections.
but not the swapping part.
no.
Or, well,
Or
you know what?
Or
And
take
we're
me
there
out
to
to the
help the
lake.
itchers and the scratchers too.
We are not here to help people lure people to a lake and whatever.
That one was horrible.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's some weird ones, and I caution all of you to exercise your judgment if you consider responding to any of these.
Good grief, yes.
And we are not liable.
No,
Any
in
decisions
any
that
way.
you make.
no, we
You guys are grown-ups.
yeah.
If you're competent enough to click on the podcast, you are competent enough to, make
And if you're not a grown up, there is a disclaimer.
Explicit content.
anyway, I don't know. I really hope there's not some fucking 11-year-old out listening to us.
God, I hope
Fucking
not.
warping their
Oh my
mind.
god, I hope not.
Well, that got quiet.
Yeah, well, now you got me thinking like that.
Yeah, I know. I was doing the same thing. I was like, holy crap.
Uh-oh.
No, ain't no fucking 11-year-old want to sit around and listen to a bunch of old fuckers talk.
No, they don't.
Right.
They had the attention span of a gnat.
They'd rather be listening to Billie
Fucking-
Eilish and
Fucking boomers.
fucking boomers.
I fucking listen to these guys.
I am not a boomer. Even I am not a boomer.
Nope.
I have been called a boomer.
You're not. You're in
I
the
know.
same.
I know.
You're in the same place I am.
I'm barely a millennial.
Are you a millennial?
Yeah.
You're not Gen X?
No.
Fucking
You
millennials.
fucking millennial.
Jesus.
What are you? Aren't you a millennial, Derek?
No.
Yeah. No?
Gen X. 70, or is it 83? 83 is the cutoff.
Oh, let's see.
I don't know.
And
what
this is
the
a
cutoff
crazy debate. I mean, this is just all speculative.
Nobody knows anything.
Right, I know.
Let's fucking see here.
I thought it
And
was
I-
83.
Who decides this shit anyways? Like, who's
Right,
like,
exactly.
You're in this classification. Who the fuck comes up with this shit?
I actually consider myself, my thinking, a little bit younger than what I actually.
But like, who went along with all this? Like, oh, well, you're this. Like, why is there even
Right.
terms created for all this? I mean, I understand baby boomers because, like, literally, they were popped out after the war, like in tremendous fashion. I understand that terminology, But maybe they just wanted to keep calling the next generation something else. I don't.
So, according to the one I'm looking at, Generation X ends in 1979. So I would be a Xennial, and I fit in the millennial category as well. Because,
Well, I saw one that was like 1983
yeah,
was the cutoff.
Xennial ends in 1985, and millennials start in 1980 to 94. So I don't know how I fit into generations.
Isn't that weird? That's just a weird thing. I don't agree with that, really.
Well, I know that
Well, like, the three of us, we all kind of relate,
it's because we all were able to live before the real tech boom,
right.
Like dial-up internet and
Well,
not even internet.
Not even internet.
Yeah, and my dad was like, he was in on that. I mean, he was a computer programmer and all that shit back in the early 80s. So I had games way before everybody else. You know what I mean? So maybe that's the connect that I have with the younger generation. That I get it. I used to have to go and do code with my dad. And we'd make little games, ice skating across cracked ice, and just crazy shit. We were Commodore 64 and VIC 20.
Okay, so this says this one says Generation X ends at 80, and millennials start at 81 to 96.
Mm-hmm.
So
that one sounds a little bit more right, probably.
But then I don't see Xennials on here, so
yeah, it's also weird.
Who fucking knows? Let's go to Wikipedia. They know everything.
I don't know why they didn't just continue naming them properly, like baby boomers, right? They became, because there was a lot of banging after the war. Why don't they just continue that? Like,
way to break it down there. Pierce.
Like 70s babies, like, you know what I mean? Like, just, I don't know what you call it, hippie fucking, or I don't know what you call it. Like,
there you go.
I don't know. I mean, and then, I don't know. I mean, then the next generation, you kind of have,
yeah, but that wouldn't really pertain to everybody.
There's not really a good name for it. Baby boomers had like the best name. I mean, as far as the cause and how their generation became,
Well, I would consider my parents baby boomers.
Yeah.
And, I
That's
I'm
probably
Generation X. I don't know.
That's probably all of our connections because all our parents are baby boomers.
Yep.
Pretty much, right?
Or we're just intelligent individuals that like to have a good conversation.
Yeah, that too.
Or that.
What are you doing over there, Derek?
Still researching. Most common one I get is millennial starts at 81.
And you're
83.
what, 83?
God damn it. I'm a millennial. Fuck. I've been talking so much shit on millennials.
And you are one.
I'm an old millennial, dude.
You're the OG.
Right. But I always heard there was like, what the fuck is the definition of Xennial? Because
I think it's like that in between the X and the millennial, which is probably more what you are.
Whatever gets me out of the millennial category.
So Xennials are a micro generation of people on the cusp of Generation X and millennial demographic cohorts, typically born in the late 70s and early 80s.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This
you're described as having an analog childhood and digital adulthood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. It says Xennials, also known as the Oregon Trail generation.
I was going to bring that up, actually.
Yeah. Fuck, I remember that. That was a great game.
You can still play that on if you Google it.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I didn't know that. They got
do you
a little
remember
handheld
7
one.
Cities of Gold?
That sounds familiar.
Oh, dude, that was like an even better version of Oregon Trail.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was
was
like
better than Oregon
you were
Trail,
Christopher
that was-
Columbus.
Oh,
and you
shit.
got to go explore the new world, and you could, you could go into like Mexico and
Did you have to sell Sally's clothes for auction?
well, no, well, you had to trade goods, or you could attack the chief, or you could do all these. Dude, it was cool. And then you get like influence around the area, and man, check that out. 7 Cities of Gold. That was a really
I'll check it out.
cool old computer game.
I like that shit.
Yeah, they still have videos on YouTube about it. And I find myself, of course, watching them.
I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't just find it on Google somewhere and play it.
Oh, I'm going to do that.
That's how I found Oregon Trail. You can play Oregon Trail online. I did it one day. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, I would totally do that.
Yeah, it is crazy though, just thinking about like in my life, like I was kind of older whenever we got like internet and all that shit, like
Mm-hmm.
remember not having fucking cell phones and internet and all that
Yeah.
shit. It's insane. Like, I don't know. But I mean, the fucking generations are all the same. Kids are always going to be the same, like regardless. Like all the video game bullshit, like kids, I mean, they do what we used to do too. I mean, they still go outside and play and shit, but there was probably always those nerdy kids that hung around on the computer or just sat inside reading comic books, and like that shit's always happened. Like, I don't know.
Agreed.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know where that rant was going, but
no,
it's just, I mean, the technology gets stronger, like technology slowly, well, kind of quickly has taken over our life, but it hadn't. I mean, people are always going to be the same, they're always going to have the same mindset. If somebody's going to be lazy and lock themselves in their room, they're going to always find something to do.
Yeah.
It's probably been that way for,
my youngest he's got a complete gaming setup with 4 fucking screens in front of him. He's got the Xbox and the PC and all this stuff, but spends all weekend out on the golf course or in his fucking fishing boat,
Well, that's, I mean, my old ass, I still sit in front of fucking Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I spend a lot of time in front of that shit, I mean, I also
I
go
do
out
too.
and I do this. I play music.
Oh shoot,
and
I'm I got 10 years on you,
yeah.
and I'm still playing on his damn Xbox, playing it's like a cartoon baseball game, but I'm addicted to it.
Right.
Just hit home runs all day long, Freaking love it.
Basically what we're saying is just do whatever makes you fucking happy. Get outside, get some sunlight here and there.
Yeah, or play some video games.
Yeah, fucking I don't care. Just fucking
it's great. It makes you happy.
Don't fuck anybody else's life up. That's as simple as that. Do what you want. Just don't fuck anybody else up.
We're only on this world for a short time. Enjoy yourself.
And now all them kids sitting inside on the computer games and PlayStation and shit, they don't have to worry about fucking coronavirus. So there you go.
They got the upper hand.
I don't know.
Unless they don't wash their controller.
It's true. God damn, poked a hole in that theory.
I don't know. I don't know shit.
Jesus. All right. Well, I suppose we should probably get off here. You guys have anything else to add?
No. Continue voting on the top 10 or partway through the month. Go vote for your favorite band at ict-radio.com on the Charts 2020 page. I want to thank our sponsor, Norton's Brewing Company, again. Find them at 125 North St. Francis in Wichita. And drink your Ovaltine.
Thank you to Billy Don Burns, and thank you to Glenn and Damaris. And get on Facebook and fucking look up some shows, because there's some fucking bangers out there this weekend. We will be playing in El Dorado at True Lies. So if country's your bag, get out and
it is my bag. baby.
Scoot your boots across the floor and get drunk with us. Yell some shit at us.
All right.
So
We got one more track. Let's see. What are we playing? We're gonna play. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. T-Mac, but goes by Little True. Hip hop submission. I assume via Richie Beasy, who does our Wednesday night hip hop show. Tune in every Wednesday at 9 p.m. for the best in local hip hop. It's badass.
check it
show.
out because he's got some fucking killer shirts on there now too. $10 for a badass shirt. Can't beat it.
Supporting the scene.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it supports what he does and keeps him churning. And yeah, I'm sure we're gonna have some more cool stuff from them coming up.
Hey,
But
man.
let's get into
Everybody
it.
been going through
This is Little True with Through It All. Enjoy. Peace out.
Later.
You guys.
R&B, my big cousin. I love you, dog. Look, through it all, man, I've been through it all. Tell me when it's time to rob me, who gon' pick up when I call? Just a youngin' tryna ball, swear to God I want it all. Pick my bro up if he fall, for my fam I risk it all. Man, I grew up in the top, remember days about the spot. Donnie always kept a Glock, bro was solid as a rock. Man, I miss my bro a lot, yeah, I'm talking tears block. Keep it real what I was taught, Donnie game bitch, fuck the ops. I remember all them days, chillin' out you making plays. Tryna come up on some change, out your wide and hidden stains. Popping this just to maintain, hard to trust you bitches lame. I wish bro Casey was here so we could see how much it's changed. They mad that I be ballin', niggas ain't about nothing. People see this tattoo on my face and get the dutchin'. I tried to get a job but they ain't hot so I said fuck it. I started spitting rhymes tryna turn nothing into something. Yeah, they know I look true coming, they know I look true coming. I ain't fucking with you bitches, only fucking, I ain't cuffing. I'ma get it for my niggas, I ain't stopping, no discussion. Fuck who wasn't there when I was down and broken bumming. Free all of my drillers, RP my big cousin. Thinking should I go pick up a gun and get the uppin'? Man, I feel like funkin', but that ain't gon' solve nothing. I'm tryna reach the top for you, get rich and stack them hundreds. I love you, my nigga, for you, bro, I'm forever thuggin'. Till we meet again, that's word from your little cousin. I remember all them times we had because it was a blessing. Tell my Uncle Josh I miss him when you get to heaven. It hurts, but now y'all resting. It seemed like I keep testing. 17 and stressing, man, I ain't expect this. I got a few brothers who don't bang and I respect it. I'm from a city where it's no love, man, this shit get hectic. I started, I'ma finish. It's crazy how I'm living. I gotta get the riches, gotta make it out the trenches. I've been going through it lately, ain't gon' lie, I'm gon' admit it. Taking off, I'm on a mission. I ain't stopping to the ending. Look, I ain't stopping to the ending. For Donnie, I'm forever trippin'. I'ma keep this gang shit lit as long as I'm existing. Fuck how niggas feelin', just know this the beginning. I'm finna make a killin', so everybody listen. They hate to see us winning, feel like that pain ain't healing. I've been thinking of a plan, yeah, I do this for my fan. Nigga, fuck being a man, I just need 100 bands. So much got me traumatized, man, I started to realize niggas faking in the skies. Man, I wonder who gon' ride, hate to see my mama cry. Man, I'm hurting deep inside, when I wrote this song I cried. Keep your loved ones by your side, keep your loved ones by your side, keep your loved ones by your side.